I've already been through this one time. I'm going to erase some of this stuff and start again fresh so that you can see the process of recording this special journal, the cash receipts journal, my favorite. I love the cash receipts journal because that means people are sending me money in the mail, or maybe sometimes bringing it right to my doorstep. Either way, I love getting money. So the cash receipts journal is it does one thing, and it records any piece of cash that comes into my possession in the company. It comes right to here. If you find yourself recording a cash entry in the general journal, you've made a mistake, because it doesn't go in the general journal. By definition, any cash that comes into the company will go to this special journal. And this is a perfect, beautiful, artistic rendition of the cash receipts journal from the practice set. Let's look at our forms here and find the first transaction. That's a cash receipt. Let's just analyze these. A+ Fitness Center sent us an invoice. No, that's not a cash receipt. Here we're sending somebody else an invoice. They owe us money, but no cash receipt. These are two little things. This first one, number 3, is an interoffice memo. Please issue a check. That's not a cash receipt. But this one right here, National Savings, you can see paid to the order of, and it says Lightning Fitness. When I see Lightning Fitness equipment in the pay to the order column, I am so happy because money is going to come in. Money has come to me now. I'm going to put the complete date over here, starting with the year. Some people have been known to put the year up here right under the word date, and that way they have this little block free to work. It's April the 2nd. You'll notice here, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this is April the 1st when it was written. We got it April the 2nd, and but we're going to use this number here. We're going to use that April the 2nd, the stamped date. Remember, that's one of the instructions. The account credited is going to be the subsidiary account. Extreme Fitness Club is sending us money, so I'm going to put in here Extreme Fitness Club, and I've got it all scrunched up. This is to keep up with the subsidiary ledger. I have to post whatever happens here to a subsidiary ledger if it affects accounts receivable. There will be some entries where people just come in and pay cash and take it out the door, and we don't even touch accounts receivable. Okay, Extreme Fitness Club. One thing I know here is I know the date, I know the subsidiary ledger. As I analyze this, I also know the amount of money that's coming to me, $14,406. We don't have to skip lines again, by the way. I think I've had to remind a couple of you that. In the special journals, there's no reason to skip a line because every line is a separate entry. 14,406 over there. Now, they paid us an invoice less 2%. Here's a couple of things you can do, and I recommend you do all those things. One of them is to look over at Extreme Fitness Club and the subsidiary ledger for accounts receivable and look at their balance. $14,700 they owe us. I'm going to pull out my trusty electronic brain here, and I'm going to take $14,700 and I'm going to divide it by 0.98 or 98%. No. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take 14,406 and divide that by 0.98. If I can push in the right numbers. Now we're talking. And here's the reason for that. 14,406 equals the gross amount of the invoice, whatever that is, X, the gross amount of the invoice minus 2% of X, because we're giving them 2% break because they paid early. 14,406 equals 0.98 X. Now I can divide both sides by 0.98 to isolate my X, and I come up with this equation now. 14,406 divided by 0.98 equals 0.98x divided by 0.98 gives me x. So whatever the net amount is divided by 0.98 in this case will give me the gross amount, 14,700, which agrees with the subsidiary ledger. So I'm really pleased with that. Happy that worked out here on the board when I got to where I could say it right. Take the net amount, divide it by 1 minus the discount percent. In this case, the discount percent is 2%. So 1 minus 2%. Remember, 2% can be written as 0.02. So 1 minus 0.02 equals 0.98. Take this, divide it by 1 minus the discount percent, or 0.98, will give me the gross amount. When you come across this in a business math class, you're welcome. 14,700. 14,700 minus 14,406 looks like $294 to me. And I'm going to put this right here. Now what you've done is you started out with 14,406 as a debit to cash. Asset, money coming in, going to increase it with a debit. Accounts receivable, I'm getting rid of the 14,700, so I have a debit of 14,406 and a credit of 14,007. So I need another debit for the difference, $294. And I always pull out my trusty electronic brain and I get the right number. So there's my first entry there. Except I need to post this to the Extreme Fitness Club. I'm going to grab my handy dandy decoder ring over here in the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. Go to Extreme Fitness Club. They have a balance of 14,700 on the next line. I'll write a 2 for the date. I won't do anything for the item. In the credit column, I'm going to do exactly what it says here. Credit accounts receivable 14,700. I'll put a line or a 0 or whatever it takes to make myself know that that's a 0 balance. And here I'll put CR1, Cash Receipts 1, Cash Receipts Journal, page 1. And over here I'm just going to put a check mark. That tells me that I didn't post any general ledger account. All I did was post to the subsidiary ledger. I want you to notice it's easy to tell if I need to post any of these numbers right now. I have to post this one to the subsidiary ledger. I have to post the accounts receivable to the subsidiary ledger. But do I need to post to the controlling account at this point? Do I need to post to sales discount or to cash at this point? The answer is no. Any column that has a name of an account at the top, and that's these columns, all of these columns have the names of the accounts, whether it's a debit or credit. None of those get posted to the general ledger. Nothing gets posted to the general ledger for this entry. The only thing that gets posted is the $14,700 credit to the subsidiary ledger. Okay. If you're thinking, you realize at this point that if I added up my subsidiary ledger, it wouldn't equal what the controlling account is because I haven't posted here. So anytime you have to tell your boss what the balance is in accounts receivable, you need to go ahead and add up and post to your subsidiary, post from your special journals before you give him that number. Otherwise, you're going to be messed up. The subsidiary account should always be right because you're doing those each entry at a time. Each entry as it comes. Okay, let's look for another check. Form 5 to bookkeeper is Lightning Fitness number, Lightning Fitness document. Same thing for Form 6. Form 7 is one of our documents. It's an invoice to somebody. And here we go. Bankers Trust of Miami, Anna's Gym in the Grove. She's paying us money. Anna's Gym in the Grove has decided to send us $12,348. On April the 3rd, not the 2nd, the 3rd, the stamp date. So I'm going to put a 3 here, and I'm going to write Anna's Gym in the Grove. I know the cash is coming in, $12,348. Now I want you to think a second. How am I going to find out what the gross amount is? Again, I'm going to take the net amount divided by 1 minus the discount percent, or 1 minus 2%, which is 98%. So 12,348 divided by 0.98 is going to equal the gross amount. 12,348 divided by 0.98 gives me $12,600. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Anna's Grove in the Gym, her account in the subsidiary ledger, and I'm going to look and see, and sure enough, she has a balance of $12,600. It's, again, that balance is expected to be a debit because this is an accounts receivable. So there's no debit or credit column there. I'm going to put a 3 in the date column. I'm going to put a credit of $12,600. The gross amount here. Got ahead of myself, didn't I? $12,600 in the credits column there, and the difference is going to be $252. And I'm going to check my math on that to make sure. You can do this 2 or 3 ways. You can say 12,600 times 2%. And that's $252. Or you can say 12,600 minus 12,348. And I get $252. So my sales discount is going to be a debit of $252. I'm going to post the credit to accounts receivable into the subsidiary ledger only, and as Jim in the Grove. And as Jim in the Grove will then show a 0 balance. And I can put a check mark here showing I put this in the subsidiary ledger. Alrighty, let's do a couple more of these. I want to catch one that's a little bit weird, and I think we're going to come to it in just a second here. We're going to do the SF Gems, which is Form 10. This is not the weird one or the different one I want to show you. Form 10 is that received on April the 4th, one of my favorite days of the year. SF Gems. They're going to pay us $6,174. $6,174 divided by the discount percent. I mean, 1 minus the discount percent, or 2% gives me, or 98% gives me $6,300. It's interesting to me, not to you, I'm sure, but this happens to be exactly half of that, and so of course the discount's going to be exactly half of the one above it. But 6,300 minus 6,174 is 126, or 6,300 times the discount percent gives me 126. So my numbers are right. I'm going to go find SF Gems in the subsidiary ledger, and it's on page 19. There it is. They have a balance of 6,300. Sure enough, I'm going to put a credit of 6,300 right under that. I'm going to put the date over here of the 4th, and a check, not a check mark, but CR1, cash receipts 1 in the posting reference column in the subsidiary ledger, and my posting reference column here is a check mark. Nothing over here. I don't have to post to the general ledger, only to the subsidiary ledger. And let's do one more just to be fun. We want to look at Form 13. Now, Form 13 is a little different. Form 13 is a deposit slip that has come to us from, what's her name? The controller, Judy's number, Roley, whatever her name is. I'm going to have to change her name. Anyway, she's given us a deposit slip of the cash sales that have been made, maybe received at the counter, and she deposited that week's cash receipts. In this case, these were cash sales. You can look here, they're cash sales. So there's not going to be anything here. I'm going to use the date. Since this is an internal document, I'll use the date printed on it, April the 6th. The cash amount, $26,600, easy to do. $26,600. Sales, that must be what it is. I don't have accounts receivable, right? Because this is cash sales. So my sales is going to be $26,600. since I'm selling merchandise, I have to remember I've let go of some of my merchandise, and it says right here the cost of merchandise sold is $17,024. So $17,024 in this column, and that gives me my total entry. My $26,600 for cash, a debit, balances with a $26,600 credit to sales. $17,024 debit to cost of merchandise sold, balances against the $17,024 credit to merchandise inventory. I don't have to post any of this right now. I'll leave this alone. No check marks, no posting references, no nothing. Everything's cool. Trying to look and see if we want to do another one here. Oh, I should tell you on Form 14, you're going to take each of the checks that we've already recorded. On Form 14, you're going to take these 3 checks and summarize them and put the you don't have to post them here, but you do have to put them in the checkbook at that point. So you're going to put both of these checks, then both of these deposit slips, into the checkbook at this point. Let's see here. I think that's enough. We'll add these up. We're gonna you're gonna wait till the end of the month and add them up, but I'm gonna put it in red so we'll know. 17,024, 26,600. That's 18,900, isn't it? Plus 14,700 gives me 33,600. 126 plus 252 plus 294 gives me 672, and then 14,406 plus 348 plus 6174 plus 26,600 is 59,528. Oops, 59,928. Now we footed these columns. We should be able to crossfoot these two and make that one work. I mean, crossfoot these two to get to the total here. 59,928 minus plus 672 gives me 60. What have I done? Oh. Sorry. It's going to have to equal these two. Minus 26,600. 34,000. I don't believe myself. 14,406 plus 12,348 plus 6174 plus 26600 is 59,528. Let me try again. 14,406 plus 12,348 plus 6174 plus 26600. 59,528. I wrote a number down wrong, didn't I? 59,528. There we go. There's my number. I'm going to do 294 plus 252 plus 126. 672. I'm good with that. 14,700 plus 12,600 plus 6,300. 33,600. So if I take my two debits, they should equal these two credits, shouldn't they? 59,528 plus 672, 33,600 minus 26,600. I get a 0. Okay. So if I take my two debit columns and my two credit columns, they will match, and then these two is a debit and credit, and so they match automatically. I'm going to take these numbers and I'm going to post them to the subsidiary ledger, not to the subsidiary ledger. Heavenly days. I've already done that. I'm going to post these to the general ledger. Finally, I get to open up my cash account, account number 1110. I'm going to post this as a debit, and I don't have to think about it. It tells me up here this is a debit. 1110. I'm going to post it here as a debit in the cash account. Add it to cash here and bring my total over. Sales discount is a contra account in the sales in the revenue area, and it's account number 4120. So I'm going to put it as a debit to sales discounts. I have to put the full date here on the April the 30th because there's no place for, no other entry up here. My posting reference in all these is going to be CR1, cash receipts 1. Accounts receivable, 1112, I think. Is that not right? Accounts receivable is 1112. I'm going to post it to the accounts receivable account. Again, it's already got the balance in there, and I may have another entry from another subsidiary ledger, another special journal. Sales, 4100, same thing. And then cost of merchandise sold and merchandise inventory. My merchandise inventory is 1115. I'm going to credit merchandise inventory 1115, and cost of goods sold should be 5100 if I remember correctly. Cost of merchandise sold is 5100, and I'll debit that. So once I make all these postings, as I make them, I'll put them here. I'll put the account number here as to tell me I posted the summary of this column to that account, and in here in the general ledger, I'll put CR1 for the posting reference to let me know that I've posted it from Cash Receipts Journal, page 1. And that's how you do the Cash Receipts Journal. Isn't that exciting?